Welcome to Better Brain Habits 4. What is your mind saying in the background about yourself as you're moving throughout your day? So, most people have, even 90% of people have some kind of inner critic running automatically in the background. My mind used to call me stupid. What did you do that for, you stupid? And when we are building motivation, when we're trying to build our confidence and our motivation for moving things forward in our life, it's hard to be moving forward if a lot of our energy, even our mind, is automatically holding us back or keeping us from accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. Well, what is this negative self-talk that our brain has picked up and is running automatically? And we joke about the voices in your head, but part of navigating life is to manage your mind, manage these inner thoughts and these inner voices, whether they are things that you're saying intentionally, but this is a huge piece of the puzzle, that if we change this negative self-talk to one more of appreciation and encouragement, it can make a huge difference in our confidence, our well-being, our motivation, and staying on track with the things that we most want to prioritize and create in our lives. So I'm going to walk you through a little exercise that we can shift the inner critic. And this is a really fun process. I've been using it for many years with my hypnosis clients in a hypnosis process, but you can also do it conversationally. I'm going to just walk you through this, and you'll notice what your mind is thinking about this as we go. So when we think of this inner critic, first thing is to recognize it. Think about maybe the last time it showed up. When did you notice it? And then I want you to kind of notice the words that it used. So it's different if that inner critic is saying, oh, I'm just not focused, or I'm lazy. That is a little bit different than you're so lazy, you need to get things done, right? So notice first, is it I language or you language? Typically, if it's you language, this means that your mind has copied a parent or a teacher who is well-meaning, but they just didn't understand the downside of criticism. They're really trying to motivate us, right? But they may not have given us good strategies for motivation because they probably didn't have them themselves. So recognize for this process, go ahead and hold your hands out in front of you, and go ahead and let one hand represent that inner critic. That critic, what is it saying? Mine used to call me stupid. What is your mind saying? And letting it be represented there. You might even give it an image or a picture there on that right hand, or on one hand. It can be whichever hand feels like it connects with that. And then the appreciation and encouragement, which hand would best represent that? So let one hand represent the inner critic and one hand represent the encourager and supporter. So turning your attention first to the hand that represents the problem, this would be the inner critic. So turning your attention first to the hand that represents the positive encourager. What does it want for you? What does it want to get for you? Oh, if I'm using encouragement, then it can help me feel more motivated. You can do this process with your eyes open or your eyes closed, whichever is most comfortable for you. I suggest doing your eyes closed allows you to be tuned into your own inner world. So go ahead and close your eyes. Allow yourself to go internal. And now kind of bring to mind those parts of the mind that have been saying that negative criticism. As you bring it to mind, maybe it has a shape or an image to it. And we want to recognize that these parts of the mind that are running this critical pattern, they've usually copied parents or teachers who were well-meaning but didn't recognize the downside of criticism. So we want to help this part of the mind understand. And imagine bringing in a 6-year-old child, even your 6-year-old self, and holding that self in front of you. focusing with these words that your mind has been saying. You're so lazy, you're stupid, you can't do this, better not bite off more than you can chew, whatever it is. Just notice that telling that 6-year-old the negative pattern. And how does the 6-year-old respond? 6-year-old, they might even get upset, might even break down and cry, might even want to run and hide and wouldn't even want to try anymore. But now imagine bringing in that same 6-year-old, and instead of using that criticism, now using appreciation and encouragement, focusing on what they're doing well, that they can show you even more. As you focus on what they're doing well, how does the 6-year-old respond? Well, they get excited, they light up, they want to try harder and show you more, and they become willing to take the determination and the tenacity of trying again and again and again until they figure it out. So now we want the mind to recognize this difference between the critical voice, how when we criticize ourselves, it actually drains away our motivation. We feel defeated, or might want to even run and hide and wouldn't even want to try. But if we use appreciation and encouragement, it builds our energy, it builds our excitement of trying again and again, our determination, until we improve and we figure it out. So now we want these parts of the mind that have been doing the criticism to recognize that there's another way for doing motivation and helping us move forward. Instead of using criticism, which actually drains our energy and holds us back, notice that these parts of the mind willing to just shift their focus to focusing on appreciation and encouragement so that you can move forward faster. Going internal, just notice, giving a notice when you get a yes, when there's a part of the mind willing to move forward faster, using appreciation and encouragement. And notice how using appreciation and encouragement works both with ourselves and keeping us motivated and on track, but it also works with the people in our life. As we add appreciation and encouragement, it builds up the relationship. It builds up our energy, our connection with that person. They get more excited, we feel more heard, and we can move together faster. So making the commitment now to use appreciation and encouragement, both with yourself and with the people in your life. And now turning your attention back to whatever image was represented by that critical voice. And as you're asking it, is it willing to just shift its focus? Go ahead and give it an image of a green plus. This is a little conversational hypnosis. Picturing a green plus and giving that plus sign, that green plus, that green addition sign, to those parts of the mind that are now in charge of using appreciation and encouragement, both with yourself and with the people in your life. Then you imagine making copies of that and asking your unconscious mind to share the copies of that green plus and that message with all of those parts that have been doing the inner critic, so that you can move forward faster, because that's what it really wants. It wants to move forward faster. It didn't understand how criticism actually drains our energy and holds us back. But now that your mind, and these parts of your mind, now that they have a better strategy of using appreciation and encouragement, notice how much better you'll feel as you're saying these positive messages to yourself and creating that motivation and tenacity and determination of trying again and again as you improve and you figure things out. So thanking your mind for working with you and all of those parts of your mind that are now on board with using appreciation and encouragement so that you can move forward faster. And as you picture in your mind's eye, you can see that image of that green plus. Now, if this process that we went through will sometimes shift automatically, which is great, and sometimes it needs a little bit of a reminder. So now that you have that image of the green plus, you can picture it in your mind. Notice what would you want that part of your mind to be saying instead. So sometimes it needs a little refresher over the next few days. Just notice what your mind is saying to yourself. Is it criticism and defeat? Or is it appreciation and encouragement and building up your energy? So notice what changes for you over the next few days. If there is some residual, I help people clean that up. It's usually just some part of the mind wants to be safe. And it can be safe using appreciation and encouragement rather than struggle and criticism. So go ahead and thank your mind, thanking all the parts of your mind that are now working with you in adopting better and better strategies. I'm Holly Stokes, the Brain Trainer. See you on the next one.